Let's start recording. Oh, this is it, isn't it? Okay. Let's back it up. All right, let's go back all the way to the top. So seems like the champion pool is very stable, right? These
Mm,
kind of three champs. So I
yeah.
guess tell me about your actually first, which one of these do you want to look at first?
Let's look at the 3v1 Vayne lane. One of the things that I was really noticing in all the games that I was losing was like I would lose them in the first 5 minutes.
The classic. All right, so this is good that you're coming to me with this
Mhm.
because did you know I went to Korea to
I
play
didn't.
League? So when I went to Korea, let me get my pen out. You
Like in
said
the
you lost
LCK.
lane. No. Like I went to play solo queue so I could get
Oh,
better.
okay.
I went when I went to Korea, and you just said I would lose lane the first 5 minutes. That was my
Mhm.
first 20 games in Korea. It was open mid at 10 minutes because I lost lane so hard.
Oh,
So
damn.
I had to do this. This is how I come up with my method for teaching and stuff. I was like, holy shit, how the hell do I lane? Because
Mhm.
obviously I have no idea how to lane. All right, so this is the first kind of step. If there's something lacking in lane, you are probably doing something wrong in this kind of idea. And this idea is matchup, right?
Mhm.
So when we say matchup, it's like, oh, okay, specific champions for sure. But the thing is, there's so many different champions that can be picked. You
Mhm.
want to have a general rule of thumb as often as possible, so you don't have to do too much thinking, right? You don't have to be like, oh, specifically, I can use Tumbo to dodge his hook, but then what about Draven E, and then all that stuff. We don't care about specifics as much. We care about general things you want to do. Like for example, oh, we have a Zillion, maybe we want to poke, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
they have a Thresh, they want to catch us with CC. So have you seen my video on lane matchups?
Yeah,
Any
that's what I
chance?
was. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I went and watched all of those videos on all the different four types of, I guess you call them four archetypes of matchups.
Yes, the four
And then I
archetypes.
realized, because like I think in one of it was either our first or second coaching, you were like, well, in order to avoid the poke, you need to try and like only walk up to last hit and don't be there for anything else, but try and
Yes,
like bait it
yes.
out, but also like try and punish them on last hitting. So what I fell into this habit to where I would try and just punish them no matter what on all of their last hits, and then I realized like I'm not playing the lane matchup. I'm just focusing on punishing. So that's when I went
Right. The
watch
lane
some of the
matchup
videos.
is king, right? You can't punish without an understanding of lane matchup.
No,
So
like you can't go and trade versus a Jin Nami lane. It
yeah,
just doesn't work.
yeah, exactly. You try and harass them on a minion, they turn around and take out half your health, and they're like, "All right, nice try, dude."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's basically the first minute right there was you just lost half your health because you try to walk up, and they're the ones who want to trade, and you definitely do not want to trade, right? Especially when you have like a Zillion. In my experience, when you have a Zillion and or a Pike, if they don't go first, you auto lose 2v2, no, like pretty much
Mm,
no matter what. So.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
That's what I
that's
really started focusing on. That's why I started picking up Tristana, because I was like, I know that I figured out that I feel like my best play style is when I play all in
hmm.
ADCs. So I started, asking my supports to go like Tristana, or to go like Leona, Braum, like someone that has the
Nice,
ability to all
nice.
in, and it worked out a lot better, for that. But this is just one of those. I was like, oh, they got Nasus top. Let me play some Vayne into this. So,
Well,
and
it
then
is good
again,
if you can get out of lane. Um, the thing that'll help you the most if you're having
mm,
problems with the lane matchup is stuff like let's back it up like this,
mm,
where you don't want to care you don't care about anything besides jungle gank and lane matchup, right?
mm,
Don't worry about trying to push or freeze or thin out the wave or last hit or whatever. Because if you can't do this, you can't play the game in lane,
mm.
essentially. So,
I got you.
so you see how like okay, it's Draven, so it's a little bit different because Draven's really obnoxious, but it's still the same if it was like Jin, for example, or Lucian or
Mm,
Varus, or even if their support is, if their support wants to trade and you don't want to trade, you still got the same ideas going. So
mm.
very much, focusing on like matchup as your number one goal will help you um, in lane a lot. Like, don't worry, like pretend that the minions are here to bait people into making mistakes. I think that's a good way to think about it.
I got
Um,
you.
and in that way, you can punish slash avoid being punished when they want a minion, right? You don't actually care about these minions. I've honestly never seen a game below challenger where the CS difference actually did anything, right? Like
Really?
actually never. Like someone dies, someone actually always dies. Like it's not a joke. Like
Mhm.
I've never seen a game go to like 20 minutes with like 0 deaths. Maybe like
Yeah.
once in 100 games or 200 games, but
Mm.
someone is guaranteed to die. Jungle, bot, mid, doesn't matter. Someone's gonna mess up whatever is supposed to be going on here. So,
Yeah.
for example, right, the CS is literally not gonna matter. It's always gonna come down to this idea of
Mm.
fighting and stuff, right? So, when you see this, right, you know, our problem is I mean, okay, let's talk about this. So what do you think is going on here?
Oh, I noticed that my wave was bigger than Draven, so I was trying to shove it into tower so I could get what little CS that I could. Because I felt like in this game also Zillion was kind of being a little toxic. Uh, so I was just, and he was like denying me CS with his bombs and whatnot, kind of on purpose.
Oh, feels bad, man.
Yeah, I was just trying to get like the C. I was just trying to get the CS, and I figured it's like if I had a bigger wave, they would be less likely to fight.
Okay, let's talk about this. Um so you're trying to push here, right?
Just yeah, I'm trying to shove this wave in. I'm trying to clear out that wave so that way I can go back home.
Here's okay, here's a Vayne specific idea.
Okay.
Vayne cannot push waves. It's impossible, right?
Okay.
Well, it's not impossible, but it's not effective. So you can't get it into their tower. Is what I wanted you to think. You wanna build up a wave, like you said, right?
Mm.
So the most effective way you build up a wave is just last hitting it.
Right.
Right? You can't just shove it in. And that's we were talking about this and not the fighting is because it leads into this situation where you don't have enough minions if they try and force on you,
Mm.
right? Because what's their matchup say?
Matchup is catch all in.
And what else? There's more than that.
Poke as well.
I don't know about poke. You can hit back.
I mean trade, I guess you could
Yeah,
say.
trades. They
Yeah.
catch all in and trade. So it's like, what do you guys have going for you?
Poke.
That sounds about it, right? And maybe catch if Zillion can land a stun. So you see where the problem lies is that they just fight you and you have 0% chance of winning if Zillion
Yeah.
doesn't land his bombs. So if you wanna push, you make sure you're only last hitting,
Hmm.
especially against super insane bot lanes like this. Why are they allowed to have all this? Is because they don't scale as well as you do, right? Um, this is why
See.
they're so dominant early on. But they have 3 categories out of 4. What the hell? It's not fair.
I was like,
But
oh god. I realized that kind of halfway through. I was like, damn, they're gonna just be able to walk up to me whenever they feel like it, as I'm not under
exactly,
tower.
exactly.
Yeah,
And
but
the payoff is omega scaling. So you guys just
yeah,
need to never die, and then you just win after like 30 minutes, right?
that's what I
You have
realized. I was
2
like, wait a second.
lives.
Like I realized that Draven falls off like late game, like 6 items versus 6 items ADC. Like Draven just falls off. The only reason Draven's strong is because he got extra gold income. But once it's you pretty much can stomp him. And I was like, I'm Vayne, so this is fine.
All right, you just need to wait. How'd you not die here?
Yeah,
Oh,
insane mechanics.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Raven lost an egg somehow. What's going on here? All right, interesting. Well, we got away. But very much, wave manipulation actually did in fact end up mattering because it turned you into it put you in a spot that was impossible to play, right?
Right.
So I want you to think, when in doubt, like okay, only push when you can get into tower.
Okay.
Okay,
Like when it's
otherwise,
for free, like if you just kill them, then you can shove it, kind of
yeah,
deal.
yeah. Otherwise, slow push or freeze. Okay, and
Mm.
unless you know for a fact that you can push and come out winning.
Mhm.
I don't know why this thing keeps popping up on the screen, but
Ah.
yeah, that's like a very much needed rule for Vayne because you can't once you start pushing, you can't unpush, and neither can you push it into their tower. Right? You have 0 options. Once the
See.
ball starts rolling, you have no control over it. So
Gotcha.
for
So
example, they can they can have a flash lantern flay gank, right? And you can't do anything about it. So
then I'm dead. So with that being keeping that in mind, if Zillion starts or any support, like Morgana, anyone that is able to affect the wave, if for instance in this case Zillion bombs the casters,
right? You just gotta
Do
deal
I
with it, right?
just
So
try and in like that sense? Do I just like try and just still only last it, or do I just try and
yes,
just clear it as
remember
quickly as
remember our
possible?
principle is that you can't push into tower. Or if you
Mm,
can push into tower, do it. But since you're playing Vayne, you can't. So your next
mm,
best move is slow push, right? And then you do push if you think you can get away from the gank, right? But against Thresh and Draven, and it doesn't matter who their jungle is, you're never gonna get away from a flash gank, right? So
yeah.
that's how we know that you can't just straight be pushing.
Mm.
Okay, your dude is inting. You just need to leave for sure. All right,
And he
good.
flamed me so hard for him. Like, dude,
You just gotta
he's
mute
low
these
health. We're
guys.
not doing anything. We
I
can't
mean,
kill nobody.
this guy's name is all that you need to know. You know.
It's possible.
This guy. I mean, literally, he says easy kills, and I'm just like, okay, well, this guy needs to play more League, I guess. I don't really know.
Yeah.
I don't really know what's going on in his head, but don't worry about that shit. You know, it's like
Yeah.
let these players stay bad, I guess. So
Yeah.
just do the
I
best you
got this.
can. Yeah,
Yeah, I get this conflicting ideas in my head. It's like, oh, if I go help my team, maybe we can do something. But then I got this other smarter voice in my head saying, no, fuck them. They're gonna int themselves, and you're just gonna int with them. So just let them do their things, outscale, and try and win the game.
right. This is an exercise. When you see games like this, where
Mm,
your support is like actively throwing the lane, this is an exercise in dealing with the fallout. Right? Stuff like this, where just because it is a 3v1 lane, right, doesn't mean that we can't actually come out with a win here for sure. It's just gonna make it's gonna make the game feel bad, and you might be less strong than you should be, but
mm,
you're definitely able to do stuff, right?
yeah,
So things like the same rules apply. Like for example, we don't want to hit tower unless we're ready for their engage, right? Would be one
mm,
thing. Things like we can't push as Vayne, so we would always want to slow push preferred, right? If we can't push against their bot lane for whatever reason, we would like to slow push, right? So it's an
mm,
exercise in how do we damage control, right? If you
yeah.
can't win through matchup, you can win through scaling, or something along those lines. So
Hmm. Yeah, I guess that was one of the biggest things that I was missing. Like, if because in low elo specifically, like anything I feel like between iron and gold until plat, it's pretty much like matchups are kind. As far as champion matchups, like they're kind of important, but it's really like how you play. I guess my question is when things are like this happening, like the only option really is to just try and outscale.
well, not necessarily. That's not really your only option, right? It's very much
Mm,
a um, don't make obvious mistakes and punish obvious mistakes. I think is the best way to put it. Because at this
okay.
level, there's always gonna be mistakes, and you're just looking for patterns in them. Like this, for example, is a mistake by them, right?
Hmm.
Like this is a guaranteed win for you guys. Do you see it?
Yeah, because Draven's got exhaust. So all I would have to have done is condemn him. I think I missed it right there though, because I think he like kind of flashed. Because I went to
Oh,
condemn.
I want you to watch this sequence of events.
I think I was targeting the wrong person. I should have just like stayed on Draven.
All right, and how do we know that? How do we know that? Before, like how do I know that? The instant I see this from here on out.
Because Thresh just used his ultimate.
Okay,
Oh,
let's go more. You're right, all right, but let's go more general. What are they doing? Who are they focusing?
my support.
Okay, and if you focus their DC, can they stop you?
Um, well, it's Thresh, so I feel like he can always like stop me if I'm not paying attention.
How will he stop you?
He'd throw that hook, and RNG would have it go past Zillion and hit me.
Okay, so check it out what you do here.
Okay,
Okay, now where's the hook?
gone.
So that's how we know you all played it. You can use flash, you can dodge it, you can tumble. It doesn't matter. You identified we need to dodge a hook, then they can't stop us.
Hmm.
Let's say, right? And so this is your time to save the game, so to speak. Or
Okay.
this is a time where if you keep your mental good and you remember like basic patterns and stuff. I don't
Hmm.
know if you remember if you have you seen my 2v2 um YouTube video that I put out like last week or something where it was like focus
Yes.
the ADC, right? This
Yes.
is a
Yes.
this
I
is
did.
this is the classic example, right? They're focusing your support. Your support's not dying fast enough. You focus their ADC, you auto win, right? So
Yeah.
this is an exercise in do you see these patterns of
Yeah.
when you see them make a mistake, can you what's it called? capitalize on it, especially when you're behind, because that's when it's hard to kind of play the game, right? Is from behind.
And that's what I was thinking. Like I feel like there's two conflicting ideas in my head. Conflicting ideal number one is hit the closest guy, and then the other one is focus the ADC. So it's like I feel like I struggle with switching between the two, figuring out when the absolute best option is. I feel like
Right. So hitting the closest guy is a tool used by us to make sure we're not throwing in a team fight.
Okay.
Right. There's too many things to keep track of. So, for example, if you try and focus the most valuable target in a team fight, and then their support, jungle, and mid still have abilities to kill you, you're gonna be doomed. Right.
Okay.
In these 2v2 situations, it's like a lot smaller fight going on. In the sense that the support, you only have to worry about the support's abilities unless they're playing like Varus or something. And then
Gotcha.
once they use it, it's very clear that there's nothing else that can stop you. Right? It's a very isolated incident. And even in team fights, you can focus the highest value target. But you're right. When in doubt, you do want to focus the support. And then if you see them use everything on your support, that's an indicator that you can just aim their ADC. Right.
Gotcha. So like you see them, I mean, like they still have cooldowns. So if you see them use everything, you're pretty much free to go in on the ADC.
If you see them use everything. Now let's say, for example, they're just walking up and auto attacking Zillion, and you jump the gun and hit Draven. What happens?
And Leona flash Qs, Zenith Blade, Thresh Hook, all
they just turn around and kill
stuff.
you. Yeah. So very much waiting out the specific things that are gonna kill you, and then you can hit the highest priority target, right?
Got you.
It's very much like that. So
kind of like the flow charge is like if you see them just walking up auto attacking, just slap them with auto attacks. Don't like
don't commit anything. Yeah. Commitment is when you commit, it means you've won for some reason, right? You win unless they do something, all right? So that's kind of the idea there for sure.
Gotcha. I gotcha.
At least we only died once, so not the end of the world.
I'm mega down in CS though, and that's what always feels bad.
Well, sometimes it happens, but this Draven will throw eventually,
Yeah, like it's Draven, he's gonna get caught out.
We had an opportunity here too, right?
I feel like, and I remember this moment specifically because he was pinging in and I was pinging to go with him, but I in my head I was like, okay, flash, tumble flash, condemn into the wall, build water. That's that, and I feel like I just misplayed what I was planning, and that ruined it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you try to look for some kind of condemn, but you couldn't find it, so you didn't feel like you could find it, right? I think that's fine. I think you might have been a little too specific. When it comes to, okay, it's true that against Draven, against champions that are really strong or fed for whatever reason, you need to be more specific to make sure nothing goes wrong, right? Yeah. When the general 2v1, if this was any other champion, all you have to do is say trade, but don't die, and you're good to go, right?
But and that's what was going through my head. It's like it's Draven, like he hits me 3 times and I'm out of the fight, and then it's he gets against you.
But since you have your ulti, he can't actually hit you if you save your tumble, right? So
yeah. I find like, and you'll see it in this game later on, I feel like I have just a mechanical misplay, but I feel like I'll hit R, but it doesn't come out, and then I think that it comes out, and I tumble in, and I think I'm invisible, but I'm not, and so I just die.
Feels bad, man.
It feels so bad, so I don't know if I'm just like doing it wrong or my button's sticky or what, but.
Hey, this is not bad at all. Nice. Whoa. Oh, okay. We should definitely talk about this, right?
Yeah, let's talk about this, please.
So, I mean, what do you think happened here?
I think that I haven't got it. This actually happened today, I believe. So I haven't had a chance to look at it, but when in the moment, what I was thinking is, just hit Nasus and he'll be dead. But I couldn't get any closer because of Thresh's ultimate.
Hold on, why do you need to get closer? He's already in auto attack range, right?
I wanted to get closer, that way I could go get under my tower and be safe.
Wait, but he can't get to you, you know what I'm saying?
Could have. I mean, he flashed right there on. Like, I mean, I tumbled into him, but.
Okay, well, let's say he has flash, right?
Okay.
But the tumbling in doesn't really solve anything, right?
Well,
if you want to tumble in, then maybe you wouldn't auto attack. But let's say he has flash. Is this flash Q gonna kill you? What do you think?
Well, I mean, that one Q killed me.
Hold on, let's see.
Okay, I'm watching.
Okay, it did kill you.
That's what I'm saying.
That's kind of disgusting. That's kind of disgusting. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I actually shouted, "What the fuck?" You know, what is that damage?
That's
Because
pretty
I was
funny.
like,
You actually, it's actually also you can say like, oh, there's a thing here, so it reduces armor, whatever. You're right. Okay, this you should be afraid of a flash play. But
hmm,
the bigger concern is definitely that tumbling in is kind of never gonna work in
hmm,
this case, right? It's
yeah,
like, for example, do you need? It's like when you use abilities when you don't need to. That's where the trap is for most Vayne players,
hmm,
is using abilities when you don't need to. Also, you might want to not max your Q on Vayne,
really,
just as a side note. Yeah. We don't play Vayne for tumble max, especially since they buffed your tumble. So your
so you
previous
play it
rank
for
5
silver
was
bolts damage, the true
yeah,
damage.
exactly. I mean, what are you building? You're building Blade the Rune King Rage Blade, right?
Yeah,
So Vayne is OP only because of her buffed W.
I got
And you
you.
want to max, you definitely want to be maxing that. Her Q is absolutely useless. You're not trying to get as many tumbles off in a fight, right? You're trying to
Yeah,
get
it's
as many 3 hits off as in a fight. So
got you. So it's tumble is only useful for like hiding and ultimate, you know, paired with your ultimate, really.
right. But maximum
I got
usage
you.
is like, tricking your enemy, going invisible, repositioning, getting your condemn off, but you don't really tumble in. You have your ulti for that, right? You just move
Hmm.
speed really quick. Tumbling in is like you have some kind of massive advantage you can't lose, then you can tumble in, I guess, right?
Yeah, and that's what I
Uh,
was remembering as well in that fight specifically. Like, I noticed that Nasus wasn't dying as quickly as I thought, so I started actually panicking a little bit, and that's why I was just like, I think I was just spamming Q and not really thinking about it.
yeah. If you don't need to use abilities, don't use abilities. Okay.
Mm.
Well, I mean, this is a good example, right? Let's
Wait, nice.
let's in terms of not using abilities, you know, why should we not be afraid? Why do we need to not condemn this guy?
Not condemn?
Look at this right here. Do you need to condemn this man?
Don't. You're right. I don't need to condemn him right now
Right. So
because he's not a threat at
based
this
on
particular moment.
yeah, based on what we've been talking about, what should your response be? I guess.
My response here should just be, I guess wait and see what he does, or just slap him a little bit with auto attacks until he gets in range.
Perfect. You just hit him, dude. Your right click is 100% win. All you have to do is do nothing,
Yeah,
and then you
but then
win.
it's like,
But
but then he's got his wither, and then I can't auto attack or move.
wait. But why is this guy not a? Why is this wither not a problem?
What do you mean?
Look closely. Why can't he use wither or ulti or E or Q? Or he can use one Q, but
Can't he? I mean, well, he can see me because
well,
you
how
know the
yo?
minions.
What does he need to cast abilities?
Oh, he fucking need. Well, he's got like a little sliver of mana right
This
there.
guy's
Doesn't
no mana. There's no way. There's no way, dude. He's 50 mana. Look, why isn't he casting Wither here? It's because he can't, right?
he? Why am
He
I
had enough
such
mana for one
trash?
Q. Yeah, so you
He's,
just, it's just, no, it's easy. It's easy fix. You literally just need to not use any abilities.
I
That's
need
the
to
easy fix.
fucking just go to school.
Yeah, literally, actually, just don't use anything, especially your
Gotcha.
condemn and tumble. Like, use it only when you need to, I think is a good way to put it, right? So, yeah, that's basically where you're going wrong here. Okay, if you wanted to use your tumble for damage, then you should auto cancel it, right? But it's okay. We're not. You did it here, so we know you know how to do that. Very
Hmm.
much. Like, see that tumble was very good, right? We would say, extremely good. But the other ones, the thing is, it has to be extremely good every time for Vayne to be
Yeah,
effective. Otherwise, this champion is pretty doomed, right? So
gotcha.
very much making sure that the mechanical ideas are there, and really mechanical idea at this level is just stop using abilities a lot of the time. Like you never see someone like die because they don't use their ability, right?
Mm,
You'll see them lose fights because they just throw an ulti and it completely whiffs,
mm.
basically.
Yeah,
Like
like honestly, like when I first started maining, so like I would say season 8 last year was the very first time I ever tried to seriously play League of Legends because I've
mhm.
actually always played since like season 3, season 4, but I never really like tried to really play seriously like in ranked and whatnot. You one of my original like I just need to hard carry the hell out of this game, and so I think I have just a lot of bad habits from playing normals and low elo games with
Right.
her.
Wait. Well, I mean, I want you to watch this. I want you. This is a big takeaway. Like, it's not that you don't know how to do this. It's that maybe sometimes you're panicking or
Mm.
you feel like you need to use something when you don't. Watch the way you play this. This is perfect, right? This is exactly the way you wanted to play this. Boom.
Mhm.
How much health did you lose? And what abilities did you use?
Like all of it.
And you didn't use nothing. Look, this is the maximum potential you could do to win a team fight. This is perfect, right? So I don't know what happened before in lane, but maybe it's a laning thing, right? Maybe it's just a make sure you're not using stuff in lane so that you can you can actually fight later, right? But yeah, you're doing really well out of lane so far, right? In terms of the fighting. So
Like yeah, that's why I really wanted to do another session, because I feel like since our first two coachings, my mid to late game decision making in team fights have been what's winning me games. But that's what's losing me games is me just
the laning,
getting wrecked in laning.
So if we all right, let's see after the next one, we'll see if we have laning examples we can show you of how things should kind of look, I guess.
Okay.
Right, and maybe that'll help you come up with some ideas of your own. So far, very much matchup ideas, right? And focusing on the 2v2 instead of minions or anything like that, right? Oh.
Yeah. I felt confident because Silas was there. He wasn't, so it was over.
Well, this is just a.
This is a bad mistake. This is me thinking that I'm too strong.
I don't know what's going on here, but remember, we don't tumble in unless we're hard winning for some reason. Yeah. And in this case, why is this the opposite of hard winning?
Because their whole team is there.
So what is this? What kind of team fight is this?
This is a bad team. This is a outnumbered team fight.
Yeah, exactly. How many numbers though? Because the numbers do matter, right?
Okay. This is, I think, 4v2 at best. 5v2.
Okay, look again.
I'm looking at the minimap. I see Thresh, and I see like two more little circles there.
So here's the fast way to do it, right? So the number of people on your team is everyone that's near you minus whatever this is. And minus dead people. So how many is that?
So 2.
Look again.
Am I just like messing?
This Master Yi is top, right? And Zillion's dead. And if you look at the minimap,
I don't see Fizz.
He's like here. He's like up here.
The it's pixelated, so I couldn't see it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah, fair. That's true. Okay, and then the enemies, the fast way to do it is you have no idea, they have 5.
Yeah.
Right? Minus dead people. Right? And then if someone shows top, boom, 4. Easy. Right? Okay. So how many people are at this fight?
There are 8 people at this fight.
Well, hold on. Do like XVX, I guess.
5v3.
Well, start with your team because it makes it easier, I think.
3v5.
Yeah, 3v5. Because I think it's a big difference between 5v3 and 3v5, right? It might get confusing if you think about it that way, and you're like, wait a minute, which team has the 5 again? All right. So 3v5, right? So this is a 3v5, and you watch this. Tell me, is this 3v5 good? When you tumble in here, this is 1v1 bad, right?
Yeah, this is just 1v1 losing bad.
So what's our goal here? Because before you fight, it's always like there's a goal. If it's not numbers, if it's not even numbers, the goal is not win the fight. Usually speaking, right?
The goal is to make it out alive.
Is there a better goal here? Because it's not like they're running you guys down, right? True. That would be a goal if they were running you down as 45. You need a kite. In this case, this is actually a classic.
Maybe bait, like just kind of be there to distract them so you can split.
Yeah, you're buying time for Master Yi. All right, now that we have that in mind, I want you to watch this and tell me what's going on.
Smart, I can figure this shit out.
All right, so what's going on? Were we buying enough time?
No, because I just went in.
So how do you play this differently to buy time? Is the question.
Not tumble in, just
save tumble.
Yeah, and maybe not even get in auto attack range. Just maybe just stand there and bait them into coming to me.
Yeah, okay, yeah, get them to chase you, right? But the underlying theme is we don't want to use anything, and so that when you need to use stuff to kite, when they eventually start chasing you, bam, you can go invisible, you can condemn him away, Blade the Ring King him, and now he has to run all the way to base if he wants the base, right?
Oh, I
'Cause
see. So
so yeah, that's the main idea here. Is
mining it
just
with not using your abilities into a massive debate.
yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah. It's
you guys
but
on here
honestly,
and turn
you
it.
could. I mean, people will be like, "Oh, you can't kill him," or "He's killing you," or whatever. But honestly, the main idea would just that's just preventing you from being able to play the game is you just use stuff when you shouldn't, and then now you
Mm,
can't play the game actually, right? So
yeah.
that's the main issue I think for Vayne at least. What we're seeing here, using abilities when it's like negative is like definitely not a good idea. Like for example,
Mm,
right there would be another good idea. Like it's a habit for you to use your ability. You want to make it a habit to not use anything at all. Like your
yeah.
abilities are tools to help you when auto attacks will not do, right? I want you to
Okay.
think you need to get something really good out of using your abilities. Otherwise, you are minimizing the impact you could have on a fight. Like
Except
say
for
for
Ezreal.
example, huh?
And so except for Ezreal.
Well, what do you mean except for Ezreal?
Because his Q is where like you get all the damage from. So you just like Q people, from far away.
Well, even Ezreal, if you miss Q and they flash it, you got problems, right? Like
Oh,
this kind of applies to every champion in the game. Whereas it's a kind of a concept that um is very applicable. Like Ezreal is definitely one of the champions where you need max valor and everything. Otherwise, you can't play this champion, right? Which is why a lot of lower ranked players can't figure out how to play him. So,
hmm,
and you see like LCK or LCS players like 1v9 on Ezreal.
that's
It's very
ridiculous.
skill intensive champion. So, um,
That one stick save video where it's like Afromu's stream and
oh
like stick
yeah, I
save
remember
gets
he
to
like
one
had a
v five.
pentakill. Yeah, it's crazy.
Goes.
So
I get
I
what you
do
mean
think
though.
there's a if there's a simple fix, it's just stop tumbling in and walk
Yeah.
up instead.
Like
Right?
that's what I did it right there. Like if I would have
Exactly.
saved tumble,
Exactly.
it's ridiculous
Okay,
though, isn't it? Look at that. All
it's
the
kind
way
of
from
awkward.
over there.
Well, you know why you took this damage? Because you tumbled in. That's why.
Tumbled in.
Look at this. How much? If you had a little bit of health left, you think you could survive this?
A little bit of health. Probably because I got ult up, so I could
Let me
tumble
see.
out.
The amount missing here. You have let's say you have an extra 350 health.
Okay.
Right. And this Vi does this thing, and okay, Zillion also the wrong guy. Bam, 350 health here. You think
I'm
you're?
winning.
Is it possible to come out of this winning?
Absolutely. Because I
Yeah, I
got
would
cause I
say
got
so.
I got Bork too, and it's just Thresh. So at that point, like with the lifesteal from the Bork,
Yeah,
it was
exactly. But
it was
because you tumbled in,
tumbled
you
in.
took 350 damage for some reason. I don't know what's going on, and you're also in a strange spot, right?
Hmm.
Also, Zillion stopped in the middle of the team fight to say he pressed R on the wrong person. Are you kidding me?
Like it was a three
Interesting.
v one lane. Like it was no joke.
Interesting.
It's 4v6. But like
Honestly,
that's
this is definitely something you could win by
yeah.
yourself. On this fight right here is definitely a fight you could win by yourself. So
Yeah, and that's one thing that I think is really that's it's kind of a factor in the 20 game loss streak, with a couple wins is like seeing my team actually inting and then me kind of reverting back to old bad habits just because like that's the only thing that I knew how to win. Just go in there and try and kill everybody. Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
Vayne.
that's not gonna work. Right. I want you to think you don't care about these outcomes. You just care about are you playing the situation correct? I think
Got
is a
you.
good way to think about it. And
So,
statistically speaking, you'll win out on these situations,
hmm,
right? If you play it correctly, and if you don't play it correctly, you're just gonna, it's not gonna be good. It's not gonna look
yeah,
pretty.
yeah, I saw
Wow,
that Jin game.
wow? That was a spicy one.
That
Nice
pissed
try,
me
nice
off.
try.
Yeah, I saw that
Okay.
the Jin game you played yesterday.
Yeah,
Where
exactly. That's exactly the one I was gonna refer to, right? Where a
yeah,
bunch of people were inting, right? Like actually not even like joking inting. They were actually running it down,
uh-huh.
and then we still won, and I had 0 deaths still, right? I was
Mhm.
able to do something productive even when team is doing something really strange. So, um, that would be a good thing to look at too. Oh, you already know what I'm gonna say, right?
Yeah,
You just gotta
there
not.
it
You just
is.
gotta stop. Okay, here's is another thing that goes hand in hand with this idea is just being patient.
Mhm.
Maybe it's just an impatient thing, like trying to use abilities to make something happen.
Yeah.
And if you want to make something happen, I want you to think use your abilities at the perfect moment. Okay, think about it this way. Think
Mhm.
about in Uno, you have a bunch of cards, or you played Uno before, right?
Yeah.
You have a bunch of skips in your hand, and use all your skips, and then you have a bunch of cards left over. Is there something wrong with this idea, right?
Yeah, I got
You want to use your skips at the end, and then you're gonna win. Or your +4s at the perfect moment. Like a +4 on someone who has 30 cards is not gonna do anything, right? In fact, it's gonna remove a tool that you could have used, like your trump card. But if you +4 someone who has 1 card left, they're like, holy shit, like I could have won, but now you screwed me over, right? So this is the idea of like the value of your cards in Uno can be applied to like the value of your abilities in League. Is that you wanna save all your good stuff until the end, right? Until the perfect moment.
I'm pretty sure the person that had Uno and got +4 is who created the troll face, the original troll face.
yeah, for sure. That's where it originated from. I would not be surprised. Got him, dude. He's just holding on to the +4 card the whole game, just to screw one dude over, you know. So you just need to be patient, right? Yeah, I think you're just trying to go in as fast as possible with any abilities possible, you know. And
I will get them with everything, and then we actually end up losing because I'm trying to be so aggro.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to wait for your moment. You're the cleanup crew, right? You don't go in first. That's really not really how ADC functions. Going in first is like an exception. You have some kind of crazy play going on.
Like they're all like one hit. You got Vayne, so you can just hit them all really quickly.
Okay,
it's like, oh, that's a bad idea.
I don't want to keep pausing at the same thing, but it's really important to see how often you're doing this.
Yeah.
Right, because you're actually just doing it you're pretty much doing it every fight, I think.
Yeah, I think it's habitually because I'm like, oh, if I get this extra like I feel like I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and if this is a mistake, I feel like I have this tendency to be like, okay, I can scare them off by doing more damage than what they expect. So I'm like, okay, I can go in there and tumble in, chunk him out real quick, and then he'll be like, continue the fight, and then I can chase him down. Is kind of like the idea I have when I go in there with these abilities. Is that?
I mean, hey, it's good to have these ideas. Now tell me, how many times has it worked out of 10?
I mean, it's honestly like a gambling game, I guess.
Like in this game alone, how many times has it worked out of 10?
Once in that jungle fight we just saw.
Wait, but you didn't scare. Wait, so you said you wanted to scare off people, right? But you didn't really scare off anyone here, right? Like it didn't really like. Did you accomplish the idea you wanted?
No. So I guess
exactly.
I've accomplished it 0 times.
Yes. So that's the thing, is that it's good. You come up with this idea, you try it out, and what we're looking for is, does this idea work 9 times out of 10? So it's a reliable play in your pocket, right? And you'll come to the understanding that the way you're using it is not working. And if it was a really good idea, it would work 9 times out of 10 no matter who your opponents are. Right? Which is, why we come up with the whole hold on to your stuff until you really need it, because that works 9 times out of 10. Right? It's consistent. It's a consistent idea. So it's really good. You're coming up with these ideas of how to use your abilities for good value, or the way you play these champions. But if it doesn't work more often than not, then there might be something wrong with the premise, right? It might be something wrong with the theory. So you should definitely keep coming up with the way you think these champions should be played, but also at the same time, go back and watch your video, go back and watch your replay and say, did I accomplish what I wanted when I used my abilities or the way I played, right? So
what's funny is like that's like more of a subconscious idea that I didn't even think that I was doing until watching it now in a full game like this. Because like these past couple days, I've just been watching the beginning game, but like watching is when I realized that subconsciously I'm coming up with these ideas.
Right. You want to definitely
like thinking to myself.
It's like the scientific method I learned in 4th grade. Come up with a theory, test it out, and then reevaluate. Right? What is it? Hypothesis, and then do your testing, and then you're like final statement or some shit. I don't.
I know what you're talking about with the tri-poster whiteboard.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where you mentioned you didn't press R first, so you know what to do, right? Going to practice tool. 15 minutes of Vayne. Yeah, anytime that ever happens to me, I'm like, practice tour right after the game. So you want to get to the point where you don't have to think about doing basic mechanical stuff, right? That's definitely a practice tool right there. So even when I fail flashes over walls, I'm like, all right, we gotta go fix that. Otherwise, you're never gonna be able to fix it in game, right?
It's true.
Yeah. For Vayne, whenever I have those problems, I would literally take everything off cooldown, I press R and do tumble as fast as I can and stuff like that. Make sure I'm doing exactly what I want. Well, you already know what I'm going to say about this, though, right?
Yeah. Just tumbled right on in.
And it condemned him, right? You know, you just need to not use anything, right?
Mm.
Because condemn would have been really useful there, maybe, right?
Hmm. Yeah, and looking at this, with you saying those things, it's also bringing an idea into my mind. It's like use the abilities fast enough, then we can, yeah, you
They'll
just
come up
backdoor
again.
more.
Nah, yeah, yeah. That's actually a very common idea that a lot of people have is use it as much as possible so you can have two of them, right? Or even maybe more. And the problem with that is that if the two abilities you had were like a tenth of as effective as one really good one, then you got 2/10 instead of
Mm.
one out of one. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
definitely an interesting idea of cooldown versus going for max value, right? But
Yeah.
that's the reason why it's obvious to me is because I've tried that idea before, and it's just like, oh,
Mm.
I would every single situation I would prefer to have my ability cast at the perfect time rather than casting it twice.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's even in the Art of War, honestly.
Right. Yeah. 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 Man,
These
the Art of
bronze
War has a
habits,
lot of
man, won't
spicy
leave me
stuff.
alone.
Uh oh, you guys are getting level 2 here. Okay, well, sometimes it happens. It's okay.
Sometimes it feels bad.
Yeah. Oh, easy clap. Let's go, baby. Kill this minion. That's level 2. Oh my god, kill the minion. Kill the minion.
I'm not gonna kill them, and I'm just gonna chase them down.
Well, I mean, hey, that's not bad. You
Yeah.
got a lot of damage off, so
It's because
not,
I'm just now getting into gold for this season, so I wasn't paying attention in the level experience bar.
no worries, no worries. It's not the end of the world. Very nice you're focusing the Kai'Sa, but there's nothing here. Your Soraka's already dead, so
Hmm.
sure. Okay, so if we have similar ideas with this game as to the Vayne game, it'll be
Hmm.
stuff like using your W correctly, or
Hmm.
even ulti, right? Or even walking up in the middle of a team fight when you should be patient. Those are if there are the common themes here. That's what they would be. So
Hmm. So it's not just with any. It's with all ads. Like no matter what their play style is, no matter what it's
oh
like.
yeah. So like let's say you're playing Lucian and you're like,
Hmm.
oh, I'm like early game ADC. I want to trade. I want to do all this stuff. The way you use your abilities in lane determine if you can get that early lead, right? Are you using your E and
Hmm.
Q correctly to trade? And then maybe something like Caitlyn would be like, oh, are you using your net correctly to stop that from happening, right? It's like everyone has different things they want to do, but the
Hmm.
way they achieve them, the most effective way they achieve them is still a similar concept, right? Are they
Got you.
using their abilities correctly? So okay, it feels bad. You just died here. I mean, let
Hmm.
me see. What should we say about this?
Also, this is another game where my support hated me and would just deny me CS. So
Jesus
that
Christ.
really feels bad when that happens, man.
It's okay. Don't worry about the CS at all. Like I want you to
Gotcha.
think this stuff is just decoration, right? Of
Yeah.
course, get as much as you can if it's free, but
Mm.
know that the as long as you're not down by like 100 CS, it doesn't matter. It's
Especially
whoever
with the new
wins these
bounty
fights.
system.
Yes, whoever wins these fights is winning. Whoever's better at situations and fighting is what's gonna win at this level and macro, I guess. Right. This CS and lane, little doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah. It's like I watch too
Someone
much
will always
LCS
die
and see these high
first.
CS numbers and think that's how you win games.
Yeah, and then you watch them, and then the guy with 50 CS extra dies, and then they lose Baron. It's like, oh, I guess it didn't matter, right?
And then you get
Even
confused
then,
how like Impact 100 CS down is still able to 1v1 someone else. You're like, how the hell are you doing this,
yeah,
Impact?
yeah. It's very much income is a very useful tool when it starts stacking up, but I think a lot of people place a lot of emphasis on it when it's like it's not gonna matter if you have all this money if you can't fight correctly, for example,
Yeah.
right? Which is why in League the first thing we teach is not really, do you know how to CS? It's do you know what your abilities do, right?
I feel like I learned this game incorrectly.
I remember in Dota, it was like, oh, learn how to deny creeps and farm, and then I was like, okay, what do I do? And then I just have no idea what to do when fights break out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep going.
And mentioning
So
that, it's like I
far,
can't tell you how many games where I have like a 50 CS lead and we still lose, and I just get so
Yeah, exactly. Like
So
this, like
pissed.
this, the leads is it's not. Don't worry about the leads, right? Some kind of throw is gonna happen. Um,
Especially at this elo.
exactly, exactly. Any elo, let's be honest. I had a, I had a
Really?
game where I had like a 5K goal lead at like 10 minutes, and then we started throwing. I was like, all right, this is getting awkward.
Yeah.
Okay. Honestly, I'm not too worried about lane, but we can look at lane examples after this. Oh, were you
Okay.
pushing here?
Just
I
like,
don't
let me
think
get
so.
that
It was
minion.
just slow pushing. Oh, you were pushing here. Okay, yeah. See, okay, so, um, I want you to think when in doubt, if you think you're gonna die to a gank, don't hard push. Right. I
Okay.
think this is a we saw this last game too, and it gave you the exact same problem. Right. You're hard
Mm,
pushing the cannon, and now instead of the wave freezing slash slow pushing,
mm,
it's gonna start hard pushing. Right. You start hitting these minions. Now you're at a spot where you have to be afraid of this gank,
mm.
or give up all this and give up all this. Let's say. Right.
I think what created that habit is like, I feel like if I would only last hit, a lot of a pattern kept happening to where like the enemy AD would build up a huge wave and then I would miss all of it because either my support not helping me farm under tower or me just not being able to get it all. So
Well, I mean
like,
that's a good way to look at it. All right, so let's say they're building up a huge wave.
okay,
It's going like this. Then you can start thinking it out. But you see how this is the opposite, where we're the ones building a wave, right?
mm,
So if you want to do this, if you want to like match them because you're afraid they're gonna build a wave, it
mm,
looks like this. It starts from here and goes like this. It doesn't start from here
okay,
because it's not possible. It's not possible, right? If she leaves the wave alone, it's still gonna push towards them. So there's no,
really,
it's
okay,
you can't build a slow push from here. It doesn't really make sense, right?
mm,
Um,
okay,
the way minions reinforce, right, is that if they meet here, slow pushes towards you. If they meet here, slow pushes towards them, right?
oh, that's actually really helpful.
So this is you hard pushing, right? It's already slow pushing towards them. If you push it faster than a slow push, then we start saying you're actively trying to push for some reason,
Okay,
right?
and
In
you
this
would say
case,
like
you don't. Hmm?
and you would say like when in doubt, statistically speaking, slow pushing is the default best option.
Mm, if you are gonna die to the gank, don't push unless you can get into their tower. Is the
Okay,
way to look at it, right? And when you see this, the minions meet here, always slow push, unless you have
okay,
one item. Because when you have one item, then you can push into their tower. Like if you try and push this wave, if they meet here and you push this wave, it meets here, and then you die to the gank, right? So
every time, every
yeah,
fucking
basically,
time.
basically. So I think you might have a habit of just hitting the minions when you shouldn't, right?
Okay.
That's leading you into a bunch of awkward situations. So
Okay.
okay, what's going on here?
Situational awareness.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Hold on to that. Oh, okay, back it up. Back it up.
But I'm just gonna say, like, I'm really good with Jin when it comes to using the abilities, except for his ult. Like, I feel like I'm just super bad with his ult. Like, this is not uncommon for me.
I see, I see. One thing to help you with that is literally, okay, so this is the most natural thing to do, right? Watch. How you fire it immediately as fast as possible, right?
Mm,
That's the most natural thing to do. And because it's the most natural thing to do, it's really instinctive for them to dodge it. It's like really easy. So what do you do
oh,
instead? Pop your ulti and don't shoot. And then they'll start dodging themselves into a corner. And
makes
then when they stop dodging, that's when you shoot them, right? And you'll be good to go.
slow roll
So
technique.
yeah, exactly. The slow roll, right? Oh, this is really fucking awkward. He has a Juggernaut here.
Hmm.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Get a kill. Oh, no. You're dead as fuck. All right, it's okay.
It
Sometimes it
hurts.
happens. Sometimes it happens.
I
I'm not
typed
too
in
worried
chat
about
like
that.
they always come bot, but like you're telling me that I'm making them come bot.
Well, I think there have been a lot of advantages given up already, which led into that. But even
Mm,
then, I'm not too worried because they're not going to be able to keep that lead. They're going to throw. Don't worry. I'm more worried about the mid game stuff. Unless you lose lane so hard, the game is over, right?
gotcha. And like, what would you define losing it so hard? Like you die every time you get to lane, pretty
You
much.
died to the jungle once or twice, and then you got problems. Because if the jungle kills another lane, then it's snowballing out of control, right?
Oh, so you would say like the most important thing is to not die to the jungler, like.
Yeah. Don't die to someone who's gonna go to the rest of the map. If you die to the enemy bot lane, it's not as bad unless it's Draven, right?
Yeah,
Uh, so yeah, I think
got you.
you didn't want to ulti there, but
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things I've been lacking, like general ideas for how to win lane, specifically like when when is it a good idea to do X, Y, and Z? But it just sounds like there's a bunch of
okay. Let
ideas.
me show you some. How much time we got? Okay, we got some time. Let's finish this up, and I'll show you some laning
Okay.
examples, maybe ideas that'll help you a lot. But
Okay.
let's see the fighting here real quick. Oh my god, it was an eco. Well, you have a 4-shot here. Kill an eco. Ah, very nice, very nice. No, you don't use ulti, right? Good. Very good. Just W first.
Yeah, I
Very
used
nice.
the A-click technique and then walked away when I killed the
Very
Nico.
good. That was really good. Man, that Van game was just you tumbling in. But since you're playing Jhin, I don't think you'll have that problem because you can't tumble in.
Oh. when I'm playing things like Twitch, Caitlyn or whatnot, I don't even net in with Caitlyn. So yeah.
Good. Very nice. It's good that you didn't use your ulti because I did not see an opportunity either.
Mhm.
When in doubt, don't use anything, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh, the snipe.
it feels good. But for me specifically, like I feel like ulti is literally my weakest thing on Jhin. Like maybe not Jin's weakest thing, but my thing specifically.
Yeah, it did get nerfed, so it's kind of hard to hit consecutive shots. So
Mm. Yeah, because it doesn't really slow like it used to. I feel like
you can actually lose the fight because you do this, but if you hit people here, what happens? Who are you gonna hit here?
I'm gonna hit the big fat ass tank that's right in front of me.
So would it have been better to walk up, or what do you think?
It would have been better to, especially because talent. I could have just walked up and
You see how long it's taking for us to walk up, right?
yeah, I could have killed so many people. Like I could have killed them all right there.
I want you to think your champion does not. The champions you play as an ADC don't have abilities unless you need them, right? They're there. They're there when it's like juicy. Now when it's like it's not average, you don't want to like use it on average. Right? You want to use it at the perfect moment. When they start wasting theirs and you haven't used yours yet, you have like an inherent advantage over them. Because at this level, you'll always have that. You'll always have that advantage. Oh my god, that's a steal.
I find that to be a lot more relevant when up against like a caster mage like Vel'Koz or Anivia. Like if I dodge everything, then I'm like, oh, they only have auto attacks. Like I've won the fight.
Right. Those are a lot more obvious, right? This is a Lamau. Like if you had ulti here, I would be concerned. You would press R here because what you did is what you did here is the correct move, right? And the only reason why you can't make a mistake here is because you have nothing else to do except walk up, right? So oftentimes, look at this. Look how much damage you do and how much impact you're having on this fight, right?
By existing.
You literally just killed everyone. You're quadra kill, easy clap, right? I don't know what's going on, but you just need to walk up instead. When you need to walk up instead of using abilities. I think is a good way to put it, right? This game's looking a lot better because if you don't use ulti from max distance and you can't get anything done, your only choice is to walk up, which is great. And your W usage is not bad at all. So this champion might be a good fit for you. Oh my god, look at that W. PogChamp.
Feels good.
You're like destroying people in this game. Don't ulti this. Good. Look at this. Every time you like don't ulti, like ulti should be the most obvious thing in the world. That's what I want you to think. The most obvious thing in the world, otherwise don't use it.
Okay.
And you see how like you're playing this really well? Where
what just like constitutes like easiest thing in the world for Jhin ulti? Like they're just so far away from you, or your team just hard engaged on them? Like
no, all of their team is like 20%. You're gonna kill someone, or you're following up on CC on a squishy target, right? But
gotcha.
let's say you're too far away and you ulti and you do nothing. You could have walked up instead, right? You see how that works? Walking up is always better, right? If you need to help a fight.
Oh, because it's like you use all 4 of your shots, get them all low, then they're running away, then you ulti.
Yeah, exactly. Jhin is a champion that wants to trade, right? It's very obvious at level 6 where you trade, everyone's at 50 health, and you ulti, right? So ulti is quite useful the more useful the later the fight is, we would say.
Mm.
At
Yeah,
the
when I
openings,
was gonna say I type that out like walk up when needed, seldom ability use.
yeah,
That'll be the
exactly,
post-it note
exactly,
for me.
exactly. You see how like even using W here could just stuns yourself, right? If you miss
Mhm.
using it, stuns yourself. Bam, hooked, right? So
Okay.
so
That should have
anytime
been
using an
easy. Like
ability,
honestly, like that was
yeah,
a misplay on Blitz for not hooking me. Like
yeah. And then okay, now it's kind of awkward because
all dead.
you do have a problem of 4v5. Okay, so
Mhm.
work on that in conjunction with saving your abilities. But the 4v5 stuff, is really important. All right, so whenever you see your team wanting to do something, or there's just nothing going on in general, look at the map and say, if a fight breaks out right now, how many people is this in this fight? So you would say 3v5 on the top of your, like literally just out of the top of your head. You're just like, okay, 3v5 based on the method we talked about, right? You have 2 people missing, so 2 people on your team not here, so that's 3. They have everyone missing, that's 5. Easy, right?
Mhm.
You just do this every time. So when Talon does this, I'm like 3v5, he's doing this by himself.
Yeah. And
Right,
that, honestly, that makes a lot of
going
sense
up.
when you say it like that, because like I would watch streamers like you, I would watch Double Lift, and you guys would just be able to say, "Oh, this is a 3v5. This is a bad idea."
Right.
Like,
You
how do you
want to
fucking
know
know?
before it happens, and if you do not know before it happens, figure it out in the middle of it before you join.
I
Otherwise, it's
got you.
just you're just playing, and then it doesn't get better, right? So, like here, for example, right here, when I saw Jarvan go in, my first instinct was look at the map and not even playing the game, right? I'm
Really?
like, okay, 5v5, let's go, right? It's doable. So that's kind of how ingrained you want it to be in your head. So you automatically won. 5v5, it started out well, good to go. Let's keep going, boys. And then if something goes wrong, then it would be really big if something goes wrong. But nothing crazy would happen, right? So you guys automatically won. You see how that like kind of works, where we can predict what
and
happens.
that wasn't even like a highly mechanical outplay from anyone on the team. It was just an organic like.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, fight started out pretty well, and then as long as nothing insane happens, we win, right? So Nico ulti was, probably the closest thing to insane they got, and then after Kai'Sa ulti, that's it. So you guys win, easy. And it all begins with, do you know how many people are at the start of the fight? And since it's even numbers, you can go from there. So
it's like an issue is like a common theme from what you're saying. It sounds like my issue is I can do the right things. I'm just not doing them at the right time.
Every time. It
Exactly.
needs to be every time. Okay, let me show you this. This Saber game is probably a good one.
Okay.
Is this Saber? Where's the Saber game? Oh, did it record? What is this game? What am I playing here? Oh no. Okay, it's okay.
I recorded. No.
We can have different ones. Don't worry. Let's see. Let's just go solo queue. Jesus Christ. All right, this Jinx game is spicy. All right, we're gonna look at laning and we're gonna look at fighting. And we'll go over a little bit. No worries. We're not streaming or anything. We got time.
Here
we go.
Is that like something that automatically records the games, or you have to set it up?
Plays TV automatically records. So.
Oh shit! Really?
All right,
I'll have to look that up after that.
This is similar to your Draven Thresh game where you can't do, what's their matchup?
Matchup is poke and catch.
And what else?
Trade.
Yes. So I mean, same thing, right? They got everything except one.
It's like poke and trade kind of go hand in hand, maybe sometimes.
Yeah, maybe sometimes. Yeah, poke and trade. Poke is a lot more obvious when it's like Zyra or Brand or Xerath, that kind of stuff. But you could say some people can consider Caitlyn poke depending on their skill. So and what about Bard Jinx? What do you think?
Jinx, I think, is only all in, honestly.
And Bard?
Bard is catch. I think with Meep Slap, I think he's a little bit of trade.
Yeah. So
I feel like with his ult, he's all in kind of deal.
All right, so let's say before level 6, you said Bard is trade, right? Yeah. And you said their trade as well with Nami. All right, whose trade is better?
Their trade.
Okay, so then we just eliminate Bard's trade. It doesn't exist. Well, it does exist, but to a certain degree. But you would know that in general, you still don't want to trade because our trade is weaker, right? So you see how that works? Where what do we got going for us? Nothing. we
A
can
damn
catch
thing.
them, and that's it, right? Because our all in, Jinx all in without lethal tempo doesn't exist as well.
Yeah, and it's not, and
So
like correct me if I'm wrong. Like even if Bard catches them, it pretty much only works out for a positive trade. Like you still can't even all in.
yeah, exactly.
Because,
I just press W and then that's it, right? So you see, look at the way
yeah.
I'm playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it doesn't matter what rank these guys are. We
Mm-hmm.
can't overreach our matchup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see that if people are ever smurfing and then they try and do some weird stuff that's a counter that goes against their matchup, they're still gonna lose to a weaker player because they just have a massive advantage, right?
Mm.
So anytime I'm like, I haven't played like I haven't done some kind of like unranked to challenger thing in a long time, but if you're there for that, sometimes I'll try and mess around and be like, hey, can we beat this matchup advantage? And I try and I'm like, oh, guess not, right?
Like
Doesn't
there's
really
a
work that
reason why
way.
this wins every time.
Yeah, guess there's a reason why I made this up because you're getting pooped on. All right,
If there
but
is ever a reason to solidify your understanding of what you created, it's playing against bronze people and still losing to it.
exactly. All right, so you see how that worked right there, right? What happened?
Hmm. So they just basically were able to out trade you in
Exactly. Yeah.
all fight like that. It's just simple as that.
It
Like,
started from a bad trade, and then it turned into a catch because we got we got slowed or some shit, and then it was all over from there, right? Even though Bard has a really nice turn, you see how like overall this is losing nine times out
yeah,
of
that
ten.
Nami bubble was kind of bullshit, but other than that, like even still, like
Just matchup,
I
literally just
feel
matchup,
like even
right?
if you killed Nami, like Caitlyn probably just would have double killed.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
purely matchup based. Oh, this is kind of interesting. I want to rewatch this actually.
Yeah. Like that. At least Sin
That
tried
was a
really
nice
hard.
try. That was a nice try, I guess. Oh my lord, we still going, baby.
Got
Oh,
ulti.
so Monka S. All right, let's keep going. All right, sure. Oh, this is kind of funny. Okay, there's a gank going on, and then let's go from here. This is the situation you usually find yourself in, right? Where you're getting like pushed in and that kind of stuff. So, oh
Holy Sin
god,
go.
oh god, it's a disaster.
That actually
It's a,
brings
it's
up a
a
really.
disaster. It's a disaster.
No, did you just miss that rocket?
So what should I have done there? What do you think? Was this
Uh,
rocket even a good idea?
no, I don't think it was a good idea because I see this happen a lot on my games where I mess up. It's like Nami is still there, so like you have to hope. Like if you fire that rocket, you have to hope that Nami and Caitlyn both misplay.
Yeah, I mean, also it's not even gonna kill her, right? So remember,
Yeah,
it's always whenever there's a misuse of abilities, it's usually, or the result is usually, oh, you should just not use it in the first place,
mm,
right? So I had this problem with Jinx
mhm.
because I actually don't play this champion ever. So I'm like, oh, okay,
I love Jinx.
we need to not use our shit like our ulti because that's really really poor. And you'll see me make this mistake a lot in this game, but
Mm,
I get it. I actually get it in the end of the game where I figure out how to use it. So it's kind of funny. But
mm.
there is some progression going on. All right, this is a bunch of non. This is a bunch of whatever, right? Let me
Yeah.
see.
Oh, I was gonna ask before in that clip that you just played, you had the wave was kind of even. Lee Sin came in, but it was pretty much a failed gank from there. Like when you see your jungle making a clearly inting bad play, and you're like, "That's a bad play. I'm not going to do it." Do you just really best option is just like not even try and follow, just focus on the wave?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You just don't even commit. I think is the idea. Don't
Hmm.
commit. All right. Oh my, he got read like a book. Holy shit. Did you see that Zed die?
I didn't.
All right, watch
I think
this.
it's screen froze.
Yeah, check it out. Watch
Yeah.
Lee Sin.
I
He got read like a book. All right, so you
don't
see
see
how we're
those things in
down.
my games, but
You see
that's
how we're down like 20 CS, right? Basically 20 CS. So watch this like recovery. All right.
okay.
Well, actually, we can talk about this. Why did I push this?
Because doing dragon, so you needed priority to be able to leave lane.
And once I push this, does it get under tower? What do you think?
Yeah, because the wave is just now hitting tier 2, so Caitlyn either has to catch it or it's just going to die to the turret.
Right, exactly. So remember, if you push, you're trying to get into the tower, right?
Mhm.
And then what's going on here? This is just some fighting stuff, right?
Mhm,
Sorry about
mhm.
that. And then laning is almost over, but we're just shoving in because we have more people now.
It's crazy, like with these higher level elo games, it seems like the easiest thing to do is actually fight. Like the harder things is like the matchup knowledge and the
Yeah. Everyone knows how to fight. Oh, okay, maybe that's not true, but the
we
majority
all
of
learned how
people
to
know how
fight
to fight.
in bronze and silver, honestly. That's why
Exactly. The mechanics aren't the things holding people back at the higher ranks. It's the unless you're insane, god tier mechanics. Usually, it's literally are you playing these situations correctly, right? Optimally, and
yeah.
oftentimes the answer is no. So, um, let's actually start skipping the lane phase. The lane phase has been really weird. So,
Oh, actually,
oh
why
my
you
god,
have
that was
you
so
just have
sad.
Doran Shield because their trade poke is on.
Yeah, that was disgusting. Let me watch this again. Actually, that was really disgusting.
Let's watch it one more time.
That was really a piece of disgusting
That
RNG right
crit
there.
though, that rocket crit with
Check
IE.
it out. Check it out. Hold on. She has 335 health, right?
This is ridiculous.
278. So it killed by a lot because the Pantheon or the Silas got an extra auto in, but yeah, that's kind of disgusting. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was
Let's get
gonna
to this part.
say, did you get Doran Shield just because the lane matchup basically dictated you to do so? Such as like
Yeah,
their
exactly.
trade poke is so much better. Like you just need Doran Shield. Like
Yes,
there's
exactly. Zach. I mean, what are you gonna do with the what are you gonna do with the Doran's blade, right?
attack
Anytime
the
you hit a
wave and heal
minion,
up.
yeah, they hit you when they're gonna try and trade, right? Okay, this is
So
very
like that's
important.
a trap that I would fall into is like, oh, I just got Jinx, so it's a strong ADC. Like let me just get this Doran's blade because I can outplay the matchup. Like
No. The
just
matchup is king,
bad
right?
idea.
Against like all
Matchup
in
is
and
king.
catch, you can take Doran's blade. Against poke and trade, you probably don't want Doran's blade, right?
I see. So really, like the matchup is king. It's just
Yes.
clear cut and dry.
And then also, this is important, right? Remember what we talked. The second important thing we talked about today was what?
Ability usage and team fight participation. Like who's there, who's not.
Yes. So in this, when I pause here, what are we looking for?
You're looking for dead people and people on the map. So with the method you're using, it looks like it is a 4v5.
Okay, so watch how I play this, right? I want you to watch. I want you to watch what's going on here. This dude's straight inting, right? So you see what the rest of the team is doing, though, right?
Like your team,
This dude is apparently has no map awareness. So
uh,
what did my mid laner just do?
you just all right. Your mid laner, he just died. Like he
He
just
just ran it down,
tried to
right?
go in ham.
Literally 4v5 ran it down. What did the
He
rest of
thought
us do?
you're like you're stupid. We're just gonna stay over here.
Exactly. All right. And now imagine if we had all joined in and only Timo was alive. What would happen next?
They would have got Baron.
Exactly. So this is how you prevent, or this is how you deal with these situations. Is you know beforehand what's going on. You make sure you know what your choice is, and only something crazy happens before you to like change your choice, right?
Huh?
So there's another 4v5 going on. So you see us just clearing mid. We see how
Yeah.
like they can't actually do the bear now because we're alive. That's like an
Because you're
important
alive.
idea that I think you needed to look at as well because you did that a few times in both your games. So
Yep, I agree.
make sure you know the
Um,
situation beforehand. Oh, this is kind of awkward.
well, there they go, Zed, go.
We out of here, boys. Run.
Like I am not blocking that shit for you. Perhaps.
Oh my god, he died. Let me watch this.
Damage.
Oh my
Oh,
god, he
Pantheon
died. That was
Spear.
crazy. Oh
Ah,
shit.
feels bad. Feels bad. Feels bad.
Okay.
But I was gonna say like an example of something like really obvious, like Malphite, Yasuo ult. Like that's something really obvious that can help turn a 4v5.
Yeah, massive value. Yeah. Massive value.
Got you. I got you.
Yeah, this is looking really weird.
Oh,
This
Silas!
guy's actually in thing. I don't know what's going on, but this is how you deal with this, right? Is don't make it worse. You see how like they just tried to 3v5, and I'm
Huh.
still alive. Everyone on the team has died so far, but I'm
Yeah.
still alive. So I get to pick up
So
all
the
the CS. Let's
idea
keep going.
here, I guess, like if I could put it in a generalized way, is like the idea is you stay alive because you're making the right decisions. Because at some point you're hoping that they throw, and then you can capitalize on that mistake, and then it puts you either back even, or you can get ahead with their mistake that they made.
It's funny that you just said that because you see what's going on here, right?
Yeah, like
Caitlyn just threw, right?
she just threw it right there. Holy shit! Was this
So
diamond elo?
no, this is fucking grandmaster. All right, don't when people Yeah, I'm just not gonna say anything. The Grandmaster doesn't really mean anything though. So it's Grandmaster here. It's diamond. You can say it's diamond. Last season's diamond, unfortunately. But yeah, let's keep watching because this is these are all really interesting. This is really important for Jinx and Vayne and all this stuff because you can't leave when the fights break out. Oh my god, I remember this. That was so sad. That was so funny. All right, so here's something you should never do. You shouldn't rely on your team for anything, even if Morgana's shield. Right? If you're like walking out in front of Blitz, Morgana's not gonna shield you. Okay. So what am I looking for here when I'm baiting this Pantheon ult?
You're looking for a Bard stun.
Not the Bard stun, but rather
You only got Silas there, so he's not doing jack shit.
you know, we're like trapped, right? What else can Bard do?
His ult, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Okay, besides his ulti too. What other abilities?
His walk through wall shit.
We're trying to get out of here, right? So I'm like looking for it, and he doesn't make it. So I'm like,
doesn't make it till then. It's so
late.
awkward. Oh no!
Doesn't make it until it's too late. So I'm like, okay, well this is fucked. But somehow we get away here.
Yeah.
Somehow we get away here. Oh my god. It's a disaster.
Season 5, you would not have got away. There are no blast cones.
It's a disaster, man. Oh, he died.
Aww.
Easy clap. And then I guess they died. So that was really lucky, right? And let's see other situations, because I think these situations is seeing like it in action helping.
This is like unlocking, I guess, like new knowledge base for him, because like I always get super tilted whenever my teams just starts inting. I'm like, wait, I'm not gonna win this game. But it's like, if you're playing correctly, if you're doing the absolute optimal strategies in the sense of like you're staying alive, you're not throwing with your team, you are increasing the chance of them throwing, like probability speaking, like statistically speaking, like even when they were talking about like Team Liquid or G2 going like undefeated or whatever, it's like the longer you go undefeated, the more likely you are to make a mistake. So like the longer the game goes on, the longer you can stall it out, the more likely they are to throw, and then you can capitalize that on it in the fucking game. Come up with it.
Oh my god. I still haven't learned how to use Jinx ulti. It's so funny. It's okay. Yeah. You see how like we played all these situations at least decently well. If sometimes with strange execution, and somehow we're winning now, right? And part of it is because I have all this money that I would not have gotten if I just died with the team every time. Right? I would actually be missing a full item here, we would say. So this is a big takeaway, I think, for whenever I saw your 4v5 stuff. That's what I was thinking. Oh, this is easy. This guy got debated. But
yeah, like now it's not even like being mechanically insane. You're just regularly playing the fight because you did regular things. Like,
oh no, let's talk about this. This is important.
It's bad. It feels bad.
This is important. All right. Remember, before anything happens, we need to be looking at the map. So what do you see here?
This is a 3v4.
Yes, 3v4. And what happens if Kennen TPs?
Everyone dies.
Yeah, 3v5, right? Let's say. So
yeah,
when you watch this, when do I make the mistake?
Right there.
Well, am I fine here?
All right. Yeah, you know what? I messed up. It's a little later when you walk up to go to attack those two.
Yeah, when I try to hit these guys. Yeah. Why is this a problem? Oh, it's because it's 3v5, right?
Because it's 3v4. Like you were fine hitting the Zed because he was alone by himself and he could have died, but
now it's like dicey, right? Now it doesn't make sense. So
what I was thinking is maybe you were thinking about like the Jinx passive reset, like you could.
No. I'm not getting reset off anyone here. Remember, when we make a plan, it has to be a 90%. Does this work 90% of the time? The answer is no, right? So we fucked up here. I was like, I actually didn't notice Lee Sin was still on the dragon. I thought he was here, and then I was like, oh, GG. Like map awareness, straight up playing this situation correctly is going to, like, you see all this money doesn't really matter. Yeah, I like a bunch of money. They have money. It doesn't really matter, right? It's like, oh, it's 4v5 and you ran it down. Okay, you lost, right? You can have 10k gold and still lose. You can have 20k gold and still lose 4v5, right?
Dude, that's fucking the EU LCS, man. I don't know. You're like someone's like G2's up 10k, they lose to Origin. Damn.
Yeah, some kind of situation happened for the income to not matter, right? or the income to not be enough. So this is spicy. What is this? Real quick, at a glance.
This is a 5v5, right?
Agreed. See, that's as fast as you want to do it in game. Is the more you can do this, the faster you'll be at it. Right?
I
To
was
the
gonna
point
start
where
like watching a bunch of my VODs and getting that like
yeah,
down.
exactly.
Like, don't
Like
try
one
to
thing
do
you
it
can
in game.
do, yeah, one thing you can do is do it during stream, anytime during
Mhm.
CS, anytime, literally as often as possible. And then
Yeah.
teammate dies, update. What is it now?
It's a 4v5.
4v5, agreed, right? So we're like, oh, okay, if they want something, they better come to us, right?
Mhm.
Okay,
And then
maybe
that's
we're
how you
looking for
can,
something.
and that's how you win 4v5s. Like you don't force it. If they try and force on you, you're in an advantageous position because you all everyone is
It's
like
really
backed
funny
up.
how you keep saying things that are just about to happen, right?
I promise you, I'm not. I
You're
promise
actually
you.
psychic, dude. Look at this. Look at this force. Look at this force. I want to show you this force. Remember how Kaylin was 20 CS up on us in lane? Doesn't really
Yeah.
matter now, right? Hold on.
No.
Check it out. What did she do here? I want to. This is very important because this guy was he was flaming his team, but I think he just soloed through a lot of fights.
Just
All right.
like walked into two people. That's where I'm watching. Where's she at? There she is.
Just the hard force, right? And now because of that, Pantheon has no health, so that
Oh,
was really awkward by them.
I think the screen froze. That's why. There it is. Oh, there she.
Oh my god, I keep missing this ulti,
Oh.
dude. I still have not yet learned how to use it. It's pretty funny.
I can hit Jinx ultis. If you can teach me how to hit Jin ultis, I'll teach you how to hit the Jinx ultis. We'll be fine.
I gotta eventually. Don't worry. I gotta. I'm progressively learning. They're getting closer every time I use it. A little bit more accurate, but not quite there. Okay. And then what is this? That's how fast you need to know.
It's 5v5.
Agreed. All right. So we can play like it's a 5v5. Good to go.
Mm.
Sure,
It's like when you
This
know for
guy.
sure it's a 5v5, you can play as a regular 5v5.
Yes, as a regular fight. Hit the closest guy, stay safe, that kind of stuff. Finally use my ulti correctly. Jesus Christ.
It fucking worked.
And then, oh, that's it. Easy 5v5, right? No problem. 5v5 started out winning, we're good to go. If it started out losing, we kite even harder, right? That's basically it. We misplayed one situation, the bot lane 3v5, and all the others we played correctly and we came out with a win, right?
And that's how it's got hard carried.
Yeah, it was a convincing win. Okay, yeah. I want to show you this pic. Where's the tab? Okay, look at this.
Yeah, we're all just dead.
What is this? And what is this team comp? Right? It's trash. It's actual trash.
You got Teemo.
with the mid lane that's useless, right? And we
Dude, I always
game,
get so depressed whenever I see Teemo tops are like 0 tanks in a game, and I'm playing AD, and I'm like, my job is to be late game. Or like you're playing AD, and they got like Riven, Yasuo, Lee Sin, Malphite support. Like we're all AD guys. Like there's nothing I could have done about that.
That's a feels bad, man. But if you, as long as you're playing these situations out as well as possible, like I want you to think 0 major blunders will give you 80% win rate.
Just like in chess.
0 blunders. Yeah.
I used to have a big issue when I would play chess. It was like I would actually like have my games analyzed and it'd be so many blunders, and I'm like,
yeah, same dude, same. I'm like,
dude, I'd always try and like outthink my opponent, and they're just like, the higher statistical chance of me playing this way means I'm gonna win. I'm like, fuck, you didn't take the bait. Like I feel like that's exactly what's happening today. Like you pointing out a lot of the things is like I'm trying to make either a mind game play and it's just not working every single time, and then they just make the better play and then boom.
Yeah, that mind game play has to be like clean. Like let me show you an example of a clean one. Because I know you've seen it before, but have you created one before, right? Like
have I created the clean play?
Yeah, actively created a mind bait. I want to show you. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but this was on stream yesterday, I think.
Might have missed it.
I want to show you what I'm looking for here. Right. So what did I type in chat?
Counter gank.
Right. So we're trying to counter gank. They're trying to counter gank. It's kind of funny. Right. So what are they thinking right now?
They are thinking 5. Was like the team numbers.
Well, let's look at our team here. Look at it from their point of view. Right. They just stopped this Rift Tower to push, right? So what is our team doing right now?
Walking away, like going to Baron.
So what did I ping? What did I ping?
You pinged right behind the Raptor, like out of Fog of War.
All right. So if you want to recreate some kind of mind debate, you have to kind of know what they're thinking.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like when you tumble in as Vayne, you know, they're thinking, I'm gonna hit this guy. That would be a clean, instinctive. You know what they're gonna do, right?
I'm letting people
and then they
kill
did it, and
me.
they killed you. Yeah, and then they killed you. So you might want to clean that one up a bit. But this is the idea, right? Is you want to get into their head by pretending to be them, and then you can recreate stuff like this where they got caught because why did Annie walk forward? There's no real reason to do so, but she was like psychologically speaking, she's like, oh, they all left, but we were just kidding, right? We just come straight back. So you can, if you want to recreate some kind of idea like this, it's definitely a really good trick in League, but it's not something that happens often, I would say.
Yeah, I know I've done it one time very recently. Like I had a Zed come and gank bot, and after the gank was over, the jungler tried to come, and I was actually like super low, and it was against the Nami. So the Zed was hanging out in the bottom bush, and I was letting the Nami get the free trade. And so when the jungler came, I just like flashed away.
You're just acting, yeah, Hollywood acting.
Hey!
So yeah, that's
super sad.
Yeah, I think if you can work on the 4v5 stuff is probably gonna give you the fastest results. Well, no, actually no, I'll say the mechanics will give you the fastest results, and the 4v5 stuff will give you the most wins. So
stuff because even though it was missed abilities, like there were fights like I took good fights, but I misused the abilities.
There were fights where you didn't misuse abilities, and it was extremely good. The Jhin game, we had a quadra kill. There was a Vayne fight. We just auto attacked Nasus in the mid game, and you single-handedly stopped them from being able to do anything. Right? Those were the really good points. So I want you to like rewatch those and emulate those. And then the other ones, make sure you don't make that a habit. Where you're like tumbled in, it doesn't make sense, or you condemn Nasus when you didn't need to. Right? I want you to think if you don't need it, don't use it. And on Caitlyn, this is especially true. When you press Q on this champion and it doesn't make sense, you're like auto lost the fight because you can't hit the backline with it and you stunned yourself, right? Or if you use net incorrectly, then you have no options. You have no netting options, right? So Caitlyn's actually one of the top ADCs where if you screw up with using your abilities, it's over, right?
Like you're just done.
Exactly. Some champions can just get away
perfectly.
with it.
You look like a fucking genius, like with that.
Now you're a god.
Lee Sin went on, like when Lee Sin went on the Caitlyn, she just netted away from the insect combo.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, she knew the insect was coming too, right? So, but if she wasted her net beforehand, then rip, right? You're just dead. You're just dead. So,
well, that was extremely helpful. I think it was the best one yet so far.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Definitely, the habit that will stick in your gameplay. Sometimes you'll make mistakes with using abilities and stuff, and you can't change that. You just have to go in and discipline as much as possible. But the thing that will stick with you forever is the whole map. Count your numbers, count their numbers, and do it fast, right? If you do that every time, every game, then you're actually, you get to the point where you're as fast as me, and I'm like, okay, 3v5, 4v5, and then you'll be able to connect the dots in terms of how you're supposed to play. Like
I'm gonna do it all day today, like watching LCS, just be like,
yeah, exactly. Well, honestly, don't watch LCS because the map is uncovered unless you can see point of view LCS, right? You want to do it with no map. Yeah, definitely practice as much as possible, and you do it. I mean, I was doing it during your replay on accident because I was just so ingrained, right? You gotta make sure it's good before you fight, otherwise it's gonna be a disaster. So, that's definitely the biggest takeaway, I would say. And of course, saving stuff will be it'll look like it gives you the most result. It'll give you the fastest results, but it's not a long-term solution unless you get really good at it. So
yeah, no, definitely. That's, like I said, it's extremely helpful. I really appreciate it, man. Hopefully next time we do this, I'll be in plat.
Awesome. So yeah, let me know how these games are going. And if you do have clips you want to show me, definitely hit me up. Otherwise, I will upload this to YouTube and send you the link. So.
Oh man, I really appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
No problem. Have a good one. Good luck in your games.
Yeah, man. You too as well.